Hi, this is Reddit Confessions channel. My name is Michael, and I've been married to Karen for 37 years. That's not just a number. That's a lifetime. We raised 2 children together, built a home, overcame hardship, and celebrated joys few get to experience. Through sickness and job losses, promotions and family holidays, we were inseparable. I truly believe that what we had was ironclad, a marriage rooted in trust, honesty, and unwavering commitment. Until one evening, everything I thought I knew changed. It started like any other weekday. I got home around 6. Karen was in the kitchen preparing dinner. The warm smell of her chicken and rice, the kind she made every time someone in the family needed comfort, filled the house. She smiled at me when I walked in, but it was tight. Her eyes looked distant. Her hands shook slightly as she set the silverware on the table. I asked her if she was tired. She said, a little. We sat down to eat, and it was quiet. Too quiet. Karen barely touched her plate. She kept poking at her food like she wasn't really there. I tried small talk, asked how her day was, mentioned a funny thing that happened at the office. She nodded politely, but gave me short, clipped answers. Her mind was clearly somewhere else. Halfway through the meal, I couldn't take it anymore. Karen, I said, trying to sound light, what's going on? You've been somewhere else all evening. She froze mid-bite. Her fork hovered above the plate, then slowly lowered. There was a long silence before she looked up at me. Her voice trembled. There's something I've been needing to tell you for a long time. I felt a chill settle over the table. Okay, I said carefully. Karen took a deep breath. Her hands were clasped so tightly on the table I could see the whites of her knuckles. Before you and I got married, she began, there was someone else. His name was Richard. I waited, unsure how to respond. I mean, of course, there was someone before me. We all have our pasts. All right, I said gently, trying to keep my voice even. She glanced away. It wasn't just anyone. I was in love with him. Deeply. That name, Richard, suddenly felt heavy in the air. Karen continued. We were together for years, and I truly thought we'd get married. But things fell apart. I never saw him again after that. Until recently. My chest tightened. Recently? She nodded. He reached out. A few months ago. Said he found me online and wanted to talk. He said he needed closure. The room was spinning. And you talked to him. At first I ignored the messages. But he was persistent. I thought maybe one conversation would put it all to rest. But it wasn't just one. My stomach sank. We've had coffee. A few lunches, she admitted. In public. Nothing happened, Michael. Nothing romantic. I didn't know how to tell you. I stood up from the table, my appetite gone. You've been meeting him behind my back. Please don't say it like that, she said quickly. I didn't mean it to be secretive. I thought I needed to face it. To get past it. I took a deep breath. For 37 years, you never mentioned him. Why now? Karen's eyes filled with tears. Because I've carried guilt about how we ended. I thought if I could just face that part of my life, I could finally let it go. But instead it brought everything back, and I didn't want to keep it from you anymore. I shook my head slowly. But you did keep it from me. That's the point. She was crying now. I was scared. I thought if I told you, it'd ruin what we had. But not telling you did exactly that. I grabbed my coat and walked out. The air outside was cold, unforgiving. I wandered down the dark streets, not really sure where I was going. Our entire life, or what I thought it was, had shifted in a matter of minutes. Karen had been holding on to something from before our marriage, something she never once brought up, and now she had gone behind my back to revisit it. I ended up at a small diner on the edge of town. The kind of place we used to go to on Sunday mornings before the kids were born. I slid into a booth in the back, numb. The waitress asked if I wanted coffee. I nodded. While I waited, I stared out the window, my thoughts a mess. Why didn't she tell me? Why was this something I wasn't trusted with? Did she still love him? Did she still love me? Back at home later that night, Karen was sitting on the couch in the dark. The only light came from the corner lamp. "I didn't expect you to come back," she said softly. I sat across from her. "Start from the beginning. I want to understand." And so she did. She told me how Richard messaged her, how she thought she'd deleted him from her heart long ago, how seeing him again didn't bring back love, but guilt, confusion, and pain she thought she had buried. She said the meetings were never romantic, that she was trying to put an old ghost to rest, but it had opened a door to something she didn't expect, doubt. Not about me, she said, but about herself, about the parts of her past she never dealt with. "I was never going to leave you," she said. "Not for him. Not for anyone. But when he came back, I felt like I was being pulled into a version of myself I thought was long gone. And that terrified me. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to scream. Instead, I went upstairs and slept in the guest room. That night I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, wondering how someone you know so well could still hide parts of themselves from you. When I came down in the morning, she was already awake, sitting at the table, her face pale. "Can we talk?" she asked. I poured myself coffee and sat down. "Do you regret it?" I asked. Her eyes searched mine. "I regret hurting you. I regret not telling you sooner. But I don't regret facing that part of my life. I needed to. It wasn't what I wanted to hear." I nodded slowly. "If I had been the one secretly meeting someone from my past, would you have accepted it as closure?" She didn't answer right away. Then she whispered, "No." Exactly. That day, she offered to give me space. Said she could stay with her sister. But the idea of an empty house, of her not being there at all, made my stomach turn. "Stay," I said. "But I can't pretend everything is normal." She nodded. "I don't expect you to." And so, the silence began. We lived like roommates, ate dinner at the same table, slept in different rooms, talked about the weather, the bills, groceries, nothing real. I caught her watching me when she thought I wasn't looking, like she was waiting for me to say something, anything. But I had nothing to give. Late at night, I wondered what they talked about. Did she laugh at his jokes? Did she tell him things she'd never told me? By the third night, I broke. "Do you still want this?" I asked her. Karen blinked. This marriage. "I do," she said immediately. "I love you, Michael. That's never changed." But how could I trust that? She leaned forward. "Let me prove it." And for the first time in days, I didn't pull away. The next night, she suggested therapy. At first, I resisted. Talking to a stranger about our marriage. "It's not about the stranger," she said. "It's about us. And we're not fixing this alone." So we went. The sessions weren't easy. There were tears, long silences, hard truths. But there was also something else, clarity. We talked about the real things. Karen admitted she had romanticized that chapter of her life. Not because she still wanted it, but because she never processed it. I admitted how the secrecy felt like a deeper betrayal than any lunch or message. That she took away my right to know. And slowly, painfully, we began to rebuild. We weren't the same couple we were before, but maybe that was okay. We weren't pretending. We were choosing each other again. One day I came home from work and found her in the backyard with our grandkids, laughing. For a moment, I just watched. That's when it hit me. I still loved her. Not the perfect version I once thought she was, but the real woman, the one who had made mistakes, hurt me, but stood there owning it and fighting to make it right. And I knew this wasn't the end. This was a new beginning.